All right, hi everybody. Welcome to today's live stream. The can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, okay. Yes, I think we had a bit of network glitch somewhere. All right, so we are back. Hi, everybody. If you are here on this call, joining us from anywhere you are joining us, welcome to tonight's um, episode one of the Leaks Founders Spotlight. This is episode one with Toochukwu, the lead and founder of Azza, and it's going to be a beautiful experience. While you are joining in on this, please make sure to share and retweet this so that more persons can see it and join in. We are live. Is going to be a very beautiful experience, very amazing and insightful conversation. So if you don't want to miss this, make sure you are sharing this now, make sure you are posting it now so that more persons can also join in and see this. In the next 20 seconds, you just have 20 seconds to do that. And after 20 seconds, we are up and running. We'll begin this service and we are going to definitely enjoy it. So quickly, let's do that. After that, we do a quick introduction and we just hop right in. So you definitely should know that it's going to be an insightful conversation. So make sure you are retweeting this, make sure you are reposting this so that more persons can see it. You just have 10 more seconds to do that, and we are in. 10 more seconds. Make sure you have your notepad, make sure you have everything you need. We are going to have a beautiful evening. All right. Yes, I mean, see my them very amazing faces and very sharp guys. I mean, if you followed up the rap that happened yesterday, that have been happening since yesterday, you know that the men on this call have money. So I mean, by now you should be preparing something. You should be preparing your list, sending what you need, because before you leave this call, they'll they'll be giving out money to you guys. So except you don't need money, me, I already have my Azza number off my head. So if they just say call it, I'm calling it immediately. So make sure you are preparing yourself, because the men here, we are seeing a lot of jagabans and odogus in our midst in tonight's meeting. So make sure you are ready to catch what they are throwing out there. All right. So yes, I think the time is fast now, and we can we can get on with what we have come here to do. All right. So very quickly, my name is Danny Amara. If you can hear me, just go ahead to drop a comment and let me know that you can hear me. Drop a comment. Let me know you can hear me. We have 31 persons on this call. I want us to hit 100 tonight. I want us to hit 100 persons live on tonight's call. We have 41 now. We can do 100. Let's see if we can do that. If possible, even do 200. I mean, it's very possible. 200 persons live on this call. Let it be our goal for tonight's call. So I'm Danny Amara, and I'm here with Lisk, the whole Lisk Africa. Yes, in spirit and in physical. So the persons you are seeing here are covered for every other persons, every other person you're not seeing here on this call that represents Lisk Africa. So yeah, we are going to have an amazing time. I'm just here to build out that platform so that you can get to hear about the amazing products happening or being built on Lisk and get yourself acquainted with them. So I'm just going to let everybody on this call do a quick introduction, and then yeah, we jump right in. So my boss, Gifty Coin, we'll just begin with you, quick introduction, then Juju Boy, and then our guest for tonight. Let's run it through like that. Yeah, over to you.
All right, cool. GM, everyone. My name is. Can you get Danny? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So my name is Gipsy Coin. Ecosystem ambassador for Leaks Africa and Leaks. So I am a community builder, trader, and researcher. What I do at Leaks currently is onboarding founders to Leaks. Basically, it's great to be here, and it's nice to host this with you. Let's have a good time here. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much, Juju Boy.
Hi guys, my name is Juju Boy, project ambassador for Lisk Blockchain and ListDAO Intern. Yeah, I've been supporting the Lisk ecosystem for a while now, helping founders um, get the most out of building on the Lisk blockchain. So happy to be here and happy to um, hear the Azza story from the founder himself.
All right, thank you very much. Happy to have you here. So, our guest, over to you. Quick introduction. Let's get to know you.
Hey, thank you, Danny. Hope I'm audible enough. Man?
Yeah, good.
Yes, yes, you are.
Oh, great. All right. So my name is Toochukwu,
Yes.
and I am the founder and CEO, co-founder and CEO of Azza, and also Blockverse. So I'm a software engineer and also now, um, you know, a founder, as I already mentioned. All right. So I think that's all about me for now.
All right. Thank you very much. So, guys, you guys have had the quick introduction. So now you know that the persons on this call they are not small people. They are not small people at all. Once again, make sure you have your Azza account ready to collect something before you leave the call tonight. I'm saying this out of faith for everyone here on this call. So just have faith with me and prepare yourself to get something. So, all right, quickly we are going to jump in and have a very great conversation tonight. So yes, once again, it's good that you know that the person on this call, I mean, is somewhere in Kenya having a good time with the Leaks team on ground. I mean, beautiful time. And if you've been following the tweets, I mean, if you're on Twitter, there's no way you will not have seen something about that, except you don't really open that app at all. But as long as you're on X, you should have seen all of the tweets and everything going down in Kenya in the tour. It's a beautiful experience. Like, I keep saying that I wish like but I for just find we enter person back go or something because I mean I want to be there and have that experience live. Very beautiful bonding time, amazing sessions. I mean I see some of the snippets from the sessions and I'm like, bro, I really want to be here. But I mean it's good to have one of the two of the persons there live, so maybe they'll get to share a thing or two with us with what is going down there and maybe give us some of the surprise things they are planning there, some of the things they have been cooking for the past couple of days, so that we can position ourselves very well for what's coming. So yeah, but let's just jump right in and we'll definitely get to that. So this is nice to have you. We're just going to do like a brief background, value exchange or value giving, and then we'll now get to the very amazing part where you get to show us everything that's going on with Azza. So just a brief background. Tell us about, I mean, how did you start as a developer? What has your journey been? I mean, I know there's Blogverse. Azza is a subsidiary, if that's the right word, inside of Blogverse. So how did Blogverse begin? How did you start your own journey? How did you become a developer? Just walk us through that, the timeline as it has been. Let's just catch up with your own story. Yeah.
Okay. So my story. All right. So I think I'll just try to go into detail as much as I can because I think that's what we're here for. So I think I said, or rather, I schooled in Ebonyi State. I schooled in
Yeah.
Funai, and basically like I started engineering. So basically during my time in school, I'd always wanted to just basically do something outside the regular um thing. So basically that's when I found programming, right? I think that was 2019. So I basically registered for this programming class back then. And the funny thing was like my school was like at least 40 minutes, that's 40 minutes away from town. So during that time I would have to go from I basically have to miss classes, right? And then go from town to from school to town like almost every day actually. But then I would find my way to I don't know I was just raw dogging it that time. So I basically like got to learn some stuff and then I started track practicing, basically trying to build out things. That time I learned just the basic stuff, JavaScript, CSS, and all of that. So that was like my I'll say like beginning time when I first like interacted with like anything that has to do with um programming, right? So I think I also got into something interesting, which was no code website building with like WordPress and the rest of them. So that was like when I was being lazy about building actual stuff with code. So I went to find like some easy way out that I started building with WordPress. So for a time in my life, for a moment in my life, I was a WordPress developer, and that was like the thing that basically like made me like my first, I would say, paid gig, right? Yeah. So first, okay, no, not the first, maybe probably the second job I got was from my mom. So my mom, my mom paid me the website for her office people, right? So that was a good motivation from that side. But aside that, I was basically trying to learn all of that. Then when the COVID time came, right, I decided to basically immerse myself in anything that had to do with learning. So I tried a lot of things in that short period of time. Remember, I said I only learned like HTML and CSS and JavaScript 2019, and I was just using those to like just build like I'll say toy
Wow.
websites, right? But then when the COVID time came, I decided to try a couple of things. So first of all, I started learning PHP, right? And I took a lot of courses. I built some projects. I was getting a hang of the language, right? I like PHP then. But then I was kind of noticing that from my research and your job opportunities around that, it was fading out, not fading out a bit, but I said the demand for it was not as high as it used to be. And then my other side of me that I like to play games thought, you know what, I should explore game development. And I also had like a good laptop back then that could basically had like a good graphic card. So I decided to try my hands on building stuff with Unity. So it was just me just, doing things out of, just impulsively trying to do everything at once. But then yeah, I once again now stumbled on, the blockchain. So the way I stumbled on it was very, very funny. Um I Someone sent me the link of what's the name of this website? Is it Million Money or Sage? Something around one of them. I don't know, but it was all that Ponzi scheme type of product, right? Where, once you put your Ethereum, other people will join you and like they will give you more Ethereum. So I took the thing. I saw that people were already marketing it to me as like that's how they've made like their first 1 million naira. I was like, this is very amazing. So I decided to put some Ethereum there. At that time, Ethereum was very cheap, so and basically put some there. And I quickly like overnight, I was like, what the hell am I even doing? I'm giving someone free money. Then I decided to basically go and start investigating like how was this thing even working. So I now realized like there's smart contracts with this crypto, it's the back end. And then I went further to start. So I normally when I find things, I just obsess about them. I think that's one thing that really helped me, both in a positive and a negative way, sure, but I always get obsessed about things. So once I obsess about something, there's no going back. So I forgot the referral part where they said I should be referring my friends and family to um to Forsage or a million one of them. And I said investigating how is this shit working? Like where who is the money going to? They tell us that it's going somewhere, so I want to actually track who is that person. So I was able to now start looking into more things and more things. I was like, okay, the first question I asked myself is, how can I be that person that all the money is going to? Then it pushed me to studying about smart contracts. And then when I got into like that rabbit hole about smart contracts, everything about, the Ponzi scheme thing cleared from my head. I now got new obsessions, dApps, like how do dApps actually work? So from there, I started learning about them every day. I'm like, okay, now if I want to be able to build something like this, I came across Uniswap. When I came across Uniswap for the first time, I was mind blown. I was like, how is it even possible, right? So from there, I decided to see how I can basically learn more. Then you remember I told you I was trying to like learn game development. That was the end of my game development journey. It just died there. Probably Juju boy carried the vision for me. So from that path, I just went directly smart contracts, and then I stumbled on this very interesting project, CryptoKitties. Back then, it was NFTs thing built on like Flow blockchain. That was like the first OG NFT project. Man, so at that point, I decided that that was going to be my new life. So I'll literally wake up every day. Maybe I wake up by like 8, and then by like 8:30 or 9, I'm on my PC watching YouTube videos. Like that time, I basically used like some of my last monies to like buy some course. I can remember the course I bought, Blockchain University, right? And bought it so I can get access to like the guys' community. Then I went ahead to like subscribe to It's the Blocks. So those guys were like the OG guys that used to basically teach people things about the blockchain. So all that I was just doing was just to make sure I learn more and interact with people, right? And it became like my life for like the whole of the that period actually. So luckily for me, I was able to consistently take take off a lot of days. Like in a week, I'll do at least 10 hours a day, at least 10 hours a day on YouTube. And where I was at the point, as God may have it, I wasn't worried about, Wi-Fi or electricity, right? Because I was somewhere, I wasn't at home. I traveled that period and I got stuck there because of the the whole thing. So yeah, I was basically just doing it back to back. And I think after like the first 3, 4 months, I was able to like build like my first dApp. The name was what CC Swap. I was able to swap my own tokens, on Ethereum. I was very impressed. I don't know how many of my friends I called that day, and I put it on my status and everything, right? So um then there was more and more learning, right? Then I decided to try out something else. Um I decided to, interact with more persons to find out what people needed. So in terms of what to build, right? So let's say I was kind of done having fun, then I was ready to now make money or at least be of value to
Yeah.
start with. So I started interacting with people in the community I was in at the point. Um, I'm trying to remember the name of one guy that actually changed my perspective. Um, some Nigerian guy, but he like lived in the UK. Okay, I can't remember, but other days I used to remember him to be honest. All right, so basically when I started interacting with them, yeah, it was I'll say the community that had like the blockchain developers in it. So I'll find more devs who were just worried about, building stuff. When I came across this guy who was like a 55-year-old Nigerian, and I was just asking myself, what is this guy doing in a Slack channel full of white dudes and developers and all of this stuff? Like, and then he was able to pick me because obviously my name Toochukwu was standing out from every other person's name. So basically he just DMs me on Slack and he's like, "You're Nigerian." I say yes, and he's like, "Oh, thank God." And next thing he tells me, whatever you do, make sure you start bringing your fellow Nigerians into this space. And I'm like, bro, what do you even know? Like, you're like probably an old man. Like, what the hell, man? And he now told me that, okay, he'd been in tech for a while and he has, I'm like, and then he's basically like trying to like learn development over again and all of that stuff. So I was really intrigued and he was very, very passionate. He told me that whatever I do, like my life's mission from now on should make sure that I'm able to bring people into the blockchain space because a lot of people don't know what they are missing out on. And like the people are kind of like late to the party. Remember, this was like mid 2020. So at that point, that's when I decided to start Blockverse. So like the man's words were very, very like they were very I would say life changing. I don't know why. I just kept like sleeping. Like anytime I'm sleeping or I want to rest, everything he says keeps like playing back in my mind. And before I know, the next morning he's sending me like another long message about how I should not waste time and all of that stuff. So basically, I decided to go ahead and just start something. So remember what he told me is make sure you do everything possible to make sure people come into this space. And I said, okay, fine, I'll do everything possible to make sure
Yeah.
people come to this space. So my first instinct was to go and start a community, right? And to be honest, I didn't even know it was going to be a community in that
Yeah.
sense. But then I went to start a community. The community was just full of my friends, basically. So that was also it. So I remember I just wrote like I wrote some things on my status. I was like, look at what the blockchain has to offer, look at what you can do, look at what you can do. I'm creating a community. Let us start. Let us we're all gonna make it, blah blah blah. I put a WhatsApp, link to a group chat, and then I went to bed. And I woke up the next morning and that WhatsApp group had like maybe like 50 something people in it. I was so surprised. Or maybe no, maybe not so 50 something people. There were a lot of people in it. So I was very excited. I was like, wow, okay, we're good to go. And then it came the point where I had to communicate my dream or my vision to it. And then out of confusion now, I was basically Jujuba has been there from day one, so he knows the story as much as I do. So I was like, okay, so guys, what are we going to call this community or something? Because obviously I did not have a name. I didn't have anything. We were just there vibing, right? Everybody was cracking jokes and stuff. Ah, we couldn't figure out like a name. It took like one whole day to get a name. And then we decided that we were going to call it Blogverse, right? So I was very excited. Okay, now we have the name of the community. The community is called Blogverse. And then we're like, okay, what we're going to do is we'll make YouTube videos about the blockchain. Who here has experience with YouTube? Some people say, oh, they have experience with YouTube. I say, fine. Okay, who here can run a blog? Because I'm going to start a blog. We'll write about blockchain, blog, anyone can contribute. I was very happy. I brought in one of my friend who was like a good blogger. Then my friend was a designer, Aja Peter, Logan, myself, Juju Boy. We're like, okay, fine, all of us are going to run this shit. Inside the blog, Sha, all I remember is that on day one, I wrote something. Day two, I was the only one that wrote something again. Day three, maybe one more person contributed, but I was just, it became clear to me that I wasn't able to communicate the vision clearly. Right, because at some point the group became very dormant.
Yeah.
Nobody was talking there, nobody was speaking anymore. Everyone was just doing their thing and they were just by themselves. And then I realized that, the way it is in your head is not the way it is in other people's heads. So that was like lesson one for me in anything concerning leadership. So um from that point, at least I was able to get someone to help me, do the graphics and set up do like the logo. So it was me and the logo. Then the days I'm able to drag my friends to make sure they write something, like the day I'm able to drag Juju Boy to write something, he will write. After that one, he will disappear again until like maybe 2 months. So I was doing the whole thing, right? Blogverse was initially a blog and a community of people. So when I'm done writing some, maybe like a blog post, I'll just put it there. So now that was where like the question of what to do next and how to actually do things properly came up. And I realized that, I didn't know what I was doing at the point and I had like a whole lot more to learn. So I took a step back, right? I didn't really tell anyone I took a step back, but I did it. And I think people noticed. So I basically stopped talking in the group. Um, I started to reimagine what the idea would have been for me. So when I finally went further to um, after like the whole Corona thing, I went to I went back to school. Then I just decided to just focus on my development skills. So And between that time, I got like a few job offers. I freelanced for a couple of persons. And, after that point, I revisited the idea of Blockverse again. But I was like, okay, first of all, I'm not doing this as a community anymore because it didn't make any sense to, keep doing a community that's, no one participated in. Then I just realized, okay, let me just focus on what I'm good at, right? Let me just focus on writing code and, building things that really matter. So at that point, I've already dragged all my G's to start doing one or two things on the blockchain, even though they were not like there. But then at the point, all my friends, everyone around me, if you come close to me and you're not speaking blockchain language, you probably stay one side first. So at that point, that was like my obsession playing out. But then I decided to just, focus and try to start learning more things. So at that point, I found myself like getting some gigs, doing things here and there. Then I remember also getting a few jobs. I think 2021 was like the first time I got a gig that paid me like $1,000. And I was like, is this money real? Right. When I got the money, I was like, okay, fine. Like let me sell some of it and make sure that I can actually and I sold some and it was real money. I was like, okay, there's something here. And that was like early 2020. Okay, I think that was late 2020 actually, going to like early 2021. So it was really awesome for me. Then at that point, I just basically, told myself if I can earn money like this, right, with basically zero work experience and basically being like I would say like a nobody in the tech space to just one day having $1,000 in my hand all of a sudden, right? That means that all the people around me can also tap into the same opportunity. So then I basically like brought my friends. I told them, okay, you know what, guys, let us all leverage our skills. If we do this one, like if only me is doing it, right, it doesn't make any sense. So you're a designer, so come and join me, right? And and if only me was supposed to like get this job or this gig, let three of us get it, or let four of us get it, and everyone gets paid that way. So that was like the idea I went ahead with. And we kept doing things like that. And next thing, like, gigs were just pouring in and we're just getting like more and more money. And then I realized, okay, it's time to put structure to this. So thinking about it in that direction, I just realized without even realizing it that quick that I was already putting something together, like something like an agency, right? So, which is the way it usually starts, especially when we don't have like enough context to what we're doing. But then it started off that way. I was able to bring people together. We picked up the name again, the brand. It didn't change, but then it just basically became, that company that will be able to build stuff and go ahead with it. So it made sense to continue that way. Then that way we're able to like recruit more
Yeah.
people. We're able to basically have like more and more talents indicate interest in what we're doing. And I think further down the line later that year, we're now faced with putting structure to it, making sure that we're able to um, incorporate, become like a real company and all of that. So that was where, like I has now learned more and more about management, operations, and not just writing code. And I think 2022 the whole family, I'll put it like that, was we worked together on a couple of things, both fun projects that were ours and also like clients projects as well. So then we decided to move to Lagos, right? Move to Lagos. It was a very funny experience. Because the funny thing is that we just went to Lagos to attend the conference, and the plan was to go there and then come back to the east. But we didn't actually keep it that way. We went to Lagos and we refused to go back. Nobody wanted to go back home. So we kind of all stayed there. And from that point on, it was just, okay, what's the next thing to do? Uh, you know, Step by step, we got like an apartment, turned it to like an office. Everyone was basically able to like work and grind, like, live and grind together. Like there was work and then there was living and all of that. There's a few of us, so it made sense. And that's the way we continued like the progress of basically Blockverse. So that way we're able to optimize, our time. We're able to learn more about each other, which is very, very key in basically like working together. Not just learning about each other, we're able to also like learn very, very quickly from each other. So there were devs who were doing better in their spaces and than other ones. So every day would have like these interactions and make sure that we learn faster from each other. That was basically like, the whole point of being together and also to like get the opportunity to network with other people in the ecosystem. And that's how we basically started off, right? There's a lot more things that happened, but I'm just trying to like crunch it into because the story might be longer than we expect. So post that, right, after that, 2020 as well, we decided to build our first product. The name of the product was Fix
Yeah.
Hive, basically like a ticketing solution on the blockchain. It was a lot of work. It required work from everybody, right? And that was when, we built it. We thought that, oh, this is going to be a really, really cool solution. And the funny thing is that when we came up with the idea, um, as I was thinking about the idea, Jujubo was also thinking about that same idea because I remember he attended this Polygon event in Enugu that year, and there was, they use NFTs for ticketing. And when he came and spoke to me, I was like, "Oh, bro, it's like God actually spoke to you because that's the same thing I was thinking." And then we just started building it, right? So you see the way the idea came. We shared it to everyone. Everyone was like, "Ah, yeah, let's do it. This is so dope. Let's do it." So it took a few months. We built it out, kept refining it. And then there came like one of the problems, which was how do we sell it? Not like sell the company, like how do we get users, right? How do we scale? How do people actually use us for events? Then we started going for events, started trying to network with people. I think that product got like probably 12 events that were piloted on it. And it was like one of the most, even one of like I'll say a very, very difficult moments in my life because now I was faced with this issue of okay, now I've built it, how do I now scale it, right? And I didn't have those answers. So it's something I had to learn, just by observing. And yeah, after 6 Hive, we just realized we couldn't really do this. So we went down to like double down on building for clients. And next thing we went again and we wanted to like build another product, which we tried. Mind you, like one thing that was also helping us get better was keeping ourselves active. So let me explain what I mean by that. On the days when we don't have paying clients, we look for hackathons, right? There was always a hackathon to participate in. Whether the hackathon was $1,000 or $100,000, it didn't matter. It would just give us opportunity to make sure that we're building something and we're building actively at that point. Because even the times that we had already built 6 Hive, we still submitted it for a couple of hackathons and we won most of them, with that one product. But the product itself was not for the hackathon. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. We're just building it because we wanted to build something. So there was all that, you know, there's all that process, there was all that I would say iterations and things that we made to all these products. But then at the end of the day, um, we tried out our hand on a lot more things. And after 6 Hive, we tried to build other products. And these products that we built, we still face the same issue about distribution. So that was the point where we started thinking, we start thinking from the point of doing research. We have to now take research like very, very seriously, so that we don't build products that people don't get to use or people don't get to see. So I would say we tried a couple of products, fast forward to other basically came as a result of we doing our normal, I'll say testing, where we're just basically doing research on the flow on the go and basically trying out ideas. So let me call it a sandbox environment. So usually in Bloggers we have like ideas, like an idea bank where we like pack these things into like the idea bank. Anyone we can spin up in a little time, we will do that. Then if it's too much and we can't like figure it out, we can just leave it. Or if it doesn't make sense, we also leave it. So I think Azza was like in that box, right? Before Azza, we tried like two more products that were similar to Azza, but people didn't get to see them or hear about them because they didn't really last, right? We tested it out in-house, we're able to like try this and that, and okay, makes sense, but something is missing. So it didn't really make it past that. But then going forward, we're able to make sure that as we're building Azza, we're able to do our research very properly, where it just turned us from like just being developers to making sure that we actually build products that people use. So we have to like double down on learning how to do research. That's number one. Then number two, we also have to double down on um making sure that we build like products that I'll say have like high utility in the market that we're currently in. So that's basically I'll say like the long short story of how I just went from like building basically like being like a WordPress dev to this point I am right now. And it's been an amazing journey. We've also done this thing where we try to build in public as much as we can. So we started posting our, you know, basically stats, everything about it from January till now. And people have been seeing it all over Twitter. And that's where we are right now. So I think I've said my story. I don't know if you guys want me to say more. Or I've tried. I've yapped for like 30 minutes straight. It's a lot of yapping. So that's it, though, Danny. And yeah,
Yeah, amazing, amazing, amazing. Thank you very much for sharing your story. I mean, it really tells like how far you've come and where you're in right now. And I also have like some people who have other questions for you though. Okay, Danny.
All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Danny, go ahead.
All right. All right. So I think at the ending part of this my other device tripped off. I'm trying to. Okay. I think I'm back now.
Okay.
Danny, we can't really hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes,
So
fine.
yes.
Yeah, we can hear
Okay.
you now.
So I mean, this was basically like about 30 minutes of opening up and saying a lot of things to us. If we end this live call with just this, I believe we have everything we need. Any builder out there has something to go back with and really start building. One thing is that for me, obsession. Anything he wants to do, he's seen obsession. He's obsessed with it and he's going all in with it. I've been opportune to experience this from a very close distance over a couple of years, and I mean, if you could see the reaction on Juju's boy's face, you know that definitely this isn't just like a story to stay you up or something. This is like something that happened real time. This is like real time. You could see the expression. Like Juju boy wanted to say something like, this guy, you're saying a lot, but I mean, I believe for every builder out listening here on this call, if you are able to be very obsessed with really what you are building or what you want to try out over time, something still gets to work out for you. See, I mean, a lot of things came in. They tried a lot of things, built a lot of products. When there's no money coming in, do hackathons. That's secret number two. When there's no money coming in, look out for hackathons and join in
Improvise.
and get some improvise so that you see food to eat. All right, so very quickly, I mean, I had a couple of questions to ask, but you've already answered that, Sissy. So we're just going to move it up a notch so that we don't have to stay on this call for a very long time. So let's briefly talk about the Leaks ecosystem. I mean, as has been doing the Leaks ecosystem for some time, we'll just talk about this. Then, while you're also talking, you talked about how you're able to, a little bit about how you're able to navigate from just being a developer to now really how do we market these things, how do we push these things, all of the research and all of that. So probably when you are discussing more or when you're sharing more in the next couple of minutes, just highlight a little bit on that as well. But building on leaks, I would just want to get to know how the experience has been for you, the support from the team and the ambassadors, the CV Labs incubation, how instrumental has this all of this experiences been to building Azza into what it is now and into what it is about to become. Just, I mean, share with us for just like 2 minutes or so. Yeah.
Okay. Um, yeah, the reading on this has been amazing. So I'll just give like a brief background on how I came in contact with like Lisk team. So I've known the guys from Lisk for about I'll say a year now. Um, it's been a while, like at least like at the last Eat Safari I was there, and I remember like my interactions with some guys from the Lisk team. I remember my interactions with Georgia, right? And everything was just get towards trying to see how. So initially, I thought this is like a change. Just want to bring in, yeah, I'll say they just want to like get into like the African markets. We see like a couple of products like that, right? A couple of projects like that. But then there was something that kind of stood out for them. You know, they were present. Like it's not. It's rare to see like top executives in an African country follow you to go around where there's mosquito and there's plenty sun. So they were there last year, right? And that was like one of the things I would say like basically stood out for me. So I was like, okay, these guys are quite interesting because sometimes you won't see like top, execs of I'll say other like, big teams trying to like be on ground. So apart from like meeting them at Itafari, there were like other times where I heard about them. You know, saw like it was that time before like they became part of like the super chain. He was like the Elix on like the L1. The first thing I did was quickly to go and like explore like what the technology looked like, the documentation and everything. So it was like a pretty old chain. But then there was also like promises and news like come on like the L2 ecosystem. So that was basically the first time I interacted with them. Then after Eat Safari, had like a couple of conversations with Georgia, a couple of conversations with some other like partners that they had, like the guys from Aya, and then decided that okay, this is what we can do, right? I'll just keep building, and then I'll see how we can integrate Lisk. And once we've done that, we are going to like have like certain activations. So that was just like my initial plan. But then after that, one key thing that stood out for me is like during all that process, the Lakes guys, from Juju Boys to Georgia, everyone will like check in once in a while. Like, hey guys, what's the updates? So that's something that I actually liked because usually, something that happens with me, um, because I'm not very, very like I don't used to like even now that I'm trying. I don't used to be very active on social media, and when I need to work, I'll just log off almost everything. But then uh even though I air some of these guys, they'll still be patient with me and they'll still call back and ask. So there was that, constant check-ins that was happening. And then when we finally like, integrated Lisk and we started, then there was now conversations about okay, going forward, how do we do this? How do we do that? And as I said, the most important thing for me was how the team was interacting with me and how they were able to like give support like almost at any time of the day, give insights, give feedback. That's one of the things that best stands out for me. Even on days when I'm I would say not being very adequate in my communication. They would always reach out to communicate with me, and I really like appreciated them for like that patience. I'm just being very honest, right, in this talk. So, going forward, there's also like basically the ease of building on Lisk is basically like, I've been building on Ethereum for years. So obviously it's like a no-brainer. Building on Lisk is also like basically building on Ethereum, right? But then going forward, there's also like interest that they had in not
Yeah.
just making sure that we build on Lisk and do like an announcement and all of that. They were kind of interested in taking things further in terms of how do I be a better founder? So we had conversations around this, and I'm like, okay, I see where the attention is shifting. So it was kind of shifting away from like the technology element to like the human element. Like they were more interested in who are the people running this product and um, you know, basically everything around that. So that was also when, we spoke to a couple of people on the team. We also got into like the Lake CBBC incubator at the point like some months back. Everything from that point was basically, I say clear that they had like a mission, and the mission was basically to make sure that they can produce good and credible founders. So
Yeah.
that's it. That's it. That's what the experience had been like.
Wow, I mean, you guys, you heard it directly from a father who has had a very beautiful experience in building on leaks. So very quickly, let's briefly just in the next 1 minute talk about your experience there on the ground with leaks. Like I said in the beginning of the call, I said hopefully the persons who are live there or who are present there on the ground with leaks will probably give us some of the things that's going on there. And
Oh,
if there's anything
thank
you
you so
guys
much
can.
for that. I think Dan is also having network issues. So before he
Yes.
comes back, Toochukwu, someone asked a question in the comment section, and it was like, what was so interesting about Lagos? So, to rephrase that, why did you have to like move from your location to Lagos? Does it was it because of that stereotype that Lagos is the hub for technology, or was it because of out of necessity that made you move from Lagos to move?
Okay, that's a very easy answer. So I needed to get more experience. I needed to meet more people. I needed to network more. So the place to do that was Lagos because there's more people there and there's more opportunities to like meet people in that street. So that's, I'll say, the short and simple answer. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Jojo boy, do you have any question you have for him? Jojo boy, we can't hear you.
Oh my, sorry, I was muted. Oh my god, I was muted. So yes, I was going to share some details on what has been going on and what the Lisk team is doing on the ground here in Kenya, and next steps. So basically, would be rounding up the session after now, because we actually have another place to be in like 10 minutes. So yeah, yeah. But basically the whole Lisk team, partners, founders, builders, and the community, we are here in Nairobi to. This is something you don't see every day in the blockchain ecosystem. To actually meet each other and talk and like get to know each other better. So, and I think it has the few days we've been here, it has actually improved our working experience. We've shared ideas, we've better understood each other, better understood, how to interact. For instance, when we're in Nairobi, one of the sessions we had was when we had like all the founders building fintech solutions on Lisk. Most of them we had them in a room, and one of the questions that was asked to them is, how do we better collaborate with each other, right? How do we create a system where one product providing financial services can rely on another product providing financial services within the ecosystem. And it goes that way to other people building agro-tech solutions, whatever you are building out there. So on the ground with Lisk has been fun, but fun is just an understatement because we've been doing a lot of work on the ground here. We've met all our partners from Aya, CV Labs, Web3 Bridge. Everyone is here, including like people from the media. So we've had a holistic conversations around um, how best to move the ecosystem forward. So right now we're actually all about to head out to an event on the beach side in the next 5 minutes, right? So, but to cut the long story short, we're happy to be here. All the founders here from Azza, Paid, Jamit, um, everybody you can think of, Project Mocha, they're all here on ground, and we've been talking on how to move the ecosystem forward. So we have just 2 more days to be out here in Nairobi before we all head out. But I believe that the goal has been achieved. The goal of bringing together the human beings behind the code, the founders behind these businesses, the entrepreneurs, the partners, the tutors, even investors, right? So we've all had a good time bonding. So we traveled together via the blockchain. We also traveled together via the coastal bus from Mombasa to Kilifi. Our bus broke down on the road. We had a good bonding time. We took a lot of cute pictures. We had a team building session. But all in all, we have come to realize individual siloed problems, that different founders are having or different partners are having, and now we are beginning to harmonize on ways to make things better. So what you would moving forward, what you are likely going to see is more related products working together, like partnering. So for instance, something that came out of these sessions is, for instance, Jamit is now integrating with Stormbot, which is amazing because now you can get to move assets across. There are a lot of things coming out from Jamit, but I don't want to jinx anything. Same thing with the payment processors and all of that, or the fintech products and all of that. It's we are beginning to connect the people that are building this ecosystem, and that by connecting those people, we are connecting the products. So you would see a seamless experience between, as long as that product is built on Lisk. Trust me, yeah, it's like it's going to be like a journey between products. It's going to be a cool experience using any products on Lisk. So that's all I would have to say. I'm happy to be on this trip, and of course, I've been traveling with my guy TC as a man. Everybody knows. But yeah, we've had a good time, and just keep building on Lisk, keep using Lisk, and we can only promise you good stuffs moving forward. So yeah, thank you.
Okay, okay. So if we are about to close in the next 2 minutes, so as a man, I think to close this, you just have to like give us any advice for developer coming from Web 2 to Web 3, and any advice you have for Web 3 founders that are building, like what we have to say to them.
Okay. For the Web2 devs, just build, right? Try to ship as many products as you can. And also like, read documentation. Don't give everything to ChatGPT. And then for the Web3 founders, I think always start from like a
Can you hear me?
problem, you know. Yes, we can hear you, Daniel. So always start from like a problem perspective, right? Always basically think from like the problem to the solution.
All right.
Make sure that you're able to like do adequate research on your user markets before building anything, or before, you can always pivot actually, but just basically solve a problem. Yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming. It was really a great pleasure having you. despite your busy schedule. I mean, you are it's Safari, so you're there for work and stuff, but you created time to speak with us. It's an honor. So thank you so much for coming. Have a great time at It's Safari. Thank you guys. Good night.
Good night, guys. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for everything. Thank you, TC, for joining in. Thank you, the Safari guys. Just before we
Just
end
before
the
we
session, please
end the
don't forget
session,
that
please don't forget that
the
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 leaks
leaks
bounce
bounce
is
is
still
still
on.
on.
So
So
this
this
week
week
is
is
still
still
on.
on.
If
If
it's
it's
the
the
goal
goal
is
is
for
for
you
you
to
to
demo any products, use any product, explore any product built on leaks, and talk about it, put it out there. And each week, the Leaks Africa team will look at the entries. Just make sure you use hashtag built on leaks. We look at it and then pick out winners $100 every week. It's still on, so make sure not to miss that. It's been going on for like on, so don't miss that. And of course, we'll be having an episode, the Leaks Founder Spotlight, next week. So look out for that. Make sure you're follow CC, follow the Azza. Listen, if you want to, if you have not using Azza yet, you want to get on boarded, just search use Azza, or you can just follow TC. And I mean, just go to his profile, you see the directions from there. Search use Azza, or go to www.useazza.com, and then you will know how to move from there. Beautiful product, you will love it. I use it every day, and I'm very, very certain you love it. All right. So thank you everyone for joining in. Thank you. I mean, I was aiming for 200 persons live, but we had close to 350 persons live on the call. So thank you very much. Let's do this again next week, and have a beautiful and amazing night, guys. Cheers, and yeah, build on leaks.